So today I'm going to be reviewing the Sony G18 to 105 millimeter lens full frame, aka FE. I have it on my Sony A6300, which is a mirrorless. So this being a full frame on a mirrorless camera is gonna of course up the millimeter to I want to say 27, 26 millimeter, maybe 1 millimeter off or so, but regardless, it jumps it up a pretty significant amount. But still, that 27 millimeter, let's call it, is still a pretty wide enough angle to make it versatile for any kind of use you have. And the range is, so it's 27 millimeters, 105 is going to be what, like 127 millimeter or 130 millimeter, something like that. Either way, this lens is great for all purposes. My first time using it was at a festival, kind of a music arts festival, and I did not change my lens once. I brought a 12 millimeter with me, but I ended up using this bad boy the whole entire time. Picture quality is great. The only thing is it's f4, so the aperture is not as wide for shooting at night, which, you know, if you go into a club scene or if you're a nighttime photographer, may not be the greatest choice of lens, but I mean, at the end of the day, most of the jobs you're gonna work with this are commercial businesses, or, you know, you can still use it for concerts, but you know, just those average gigs that you have, even music videos, if you set up your lighting correctly, aperture wouldn't matter, because, I mean, it would matter, but not as much if your lighting is correct, and that goes with any kind of shoot. If your lighting's good, then the aperture won't be as big of a deal. What else? The power zoom. I'm a big fan of the power zoom. A lot of times I like to zoom in, and having that manual zoom is not as smooth unless you have hands like butter, which I'm sure none of you do. I mean, if you do have buttery hands, it's your personal business. I don't. Once you get the hang of it, I get these smooth shots by just like gently touching it here. If you can see, it's pretty sleek. I'm a big fan of it. The only thing though with that is that when you do turn the camera on, it zooms out, which is kind of sucks, because then you have to readjust, but not if you know what millimeter it was on, or unless you're in a rush. Other than that, the zoom is internal, so you will never have to adjust manually. It won't get bigger, it won't get smaller, so if you have it on a gimbal, it's pretty awesome. You can go ahead and, like I said, do that sleek power zoom on a gimbal when you're moving around. It's not the lightest lens in the world, but again, it's definitely lighter than the G Master 2.8. But then again, the G Master 2.8 is a beast of its own. But as far as weight, I mean, it's pretty decent for a lens that of its caliber. I think it's a perfect weight for what it is. I mean, it is a zoom also, so you're not gonna get a sharpness if you had a prime lens, which in my case, I do a lot of versatility shooting, and I don't really use a prime lens as much unless I'm doing portrait photography or anything like that. What else can I say about this thing here? I got it from a third-party vendor. Still came out good. It came out great. It was from China or Thailand or somewhere that's cheaper than here. It was used, so I got it maybe like $200 cheaper than average price, which is always great. I was gonna get the Carl Zeiss equivalent to this, which is about $200 more, but you know, with the power zoom, I decided to go with this. And it's cheaper. I mean, granted, Zeiss is Zeiss, but Zeiss is not my problem. That was a horrible joke, and I hope you didn't watch this far and had to hear that, but it's out there. Anyways, I will go ahead and show you some examples of video that I took with this bad boy or girl. No gender discrimination here on my camera. But I hope you like it. And like I said, stay tuned for some shots.